The little alien Wolfgirl stood on the metal walkway of the star station with her tail flicking in clear warning as her bright eyes stayed fixed on the human in front of her. Her name was Lyra, and she was not from Earth but from a quiet moon covered in silver forests and glowing flowers where her kind lived in small gentle tribes. The human in front of her was named Kai, and he was a young engineer from Earth who had been sent to help repair the station after a recent power failure. Kai was not a bad person, but he had a habit of acting without thinking, and when he saw Lyra for the first time, he was amazed by her soft-looking ears and fluffy tails. They reminded him of animals from Earth, but Lyra was not an animal, and she was proud of who she was. When Kai reached out to touch her ears, she snapped back and said, "If you rub my ears again, I will bite you." Her voice was small but sharp and full of warning. Kai pulled his hand back quickly and raised both hands in apology as he said, "Sorry. I did not mean any harm." Lyra watched him closely and then nodded slowly as she said, "Humans are always too." Curious Guy smiled nervously and said, "Maybe, but we do not mean to be rude." Star station around them hummed with quiet energy as ships from many worlds docked and left carrying travelers from across the galaxy. Humans were still new to this part of space, and many aliens did not know what to think of them. Some thought humans were weak, while others thought they were dangerous. Lyra had heard stories about humans being loud and reckless, but also brave and loyal. She had never met one until now Kai had been assigned to work with Lyra because her people had a natural sense for energy flow which made them perfect at helping maintain star station systems. They were an unlikely team, but the station needed both of them to work together. Lyra led Kai down a long corridor filled with glowing panels as she explained that a main power node had been damaged by a recent solar storm. If it was not fixed soon, the station would lose gravity in several sections. Kai listened carefully as he followed her small but confident steps. Even though Lyra was much smaller than him, she moved with purpose and seemed to know every corner of the station. As they reached the power room, they saw sparks jumping from a broken console and a low alarm echoing through the chamber. Lyra frowned and said, "This is worse than I thought." Kai stepped forward and began scanning the console with a handheld devices. He said, "The wiring is fried, but I think we can reroute the power if we work fast." Lyra nodded and jumped onto a nearby platform using her agile legs to reach a higher control panel. Her tail helped her balance as she worked with quick, precise movements. Kai was impressed by her skill and could see that her people were far more advanced in some ways than humans expected. As they worked together, the station suddenly shook, and a loud warning sound filled the room. Lyra lost her footing and nearly fell, but Kai rushed forward and caught her just in time. For a moment they froze with Lyra in his arms, and her ears twitching in surprise. She looked up at him and saw genuine concern in his eyes. "Careful, human," she said softly. Kai nodded and gently set her back on her feet as he said, "I got you." Lyra felt something shift in her heart as she realized that despite their differences, this human was willing to risk himself to protect her. They returned to their work and managed to stabilize the power node. Just as the alarm stopped, the room fell quiet and the lights returned to normal. Lyra let out a small sigh of relief and said, "We did it." Kai smiled widely and said, "Teamwork." After that moment, things between them changed. Lyra no longer saw Kai as just a strange human, and Kai no longer saw Lyra as just a cute alien. They began to talk more as they worked, sharing stories about their worlds. Lyra told Kai about her moon, where the nights glowed with soft blue light, and how her people sang to the stars. Kai told her about Earth with its oceans and mountains, and how humans dreamed of exploring the universes. Days passed, the two became close friends. Kai learned to respect Lyra's boundaries, and never tried to touch her ears again. Lyra learned that humans could be gentle and kind, despite their clumsy ways. One day, a dangerous pirate ship attacked the station, hoping to steal valuable energy crystals. The station defenses were weak, and many aliens panicked. Lyra and Kai found themselves in the control room as the pirates tried to break through. Kai quickly took charge and began coordinating with the station crew using his knowledge of human military tactics. Lyra used her people ability to sense energy to help locate weak points in the pirate ship's shields. Together, they guided the station defenses to strike at just the right moment. pirate ship was forced to retreat, and the station was saved after. The danger past, many of the aliens looked at the humans with new respect. They saw that humans were not just reckless, but also brave and clever when it mattered most. Lyra stood beside Kai as the station celebrated their survival. She looked up at him and said, "You are not so bad for a human, Kai." Laughed and said, "Coming from you." "I will take that as a compliment," Lyra smiled, which was rare for her kind, and her tail swayed happily from. That day on Humans and Lyra, people began working together more closely on the station trust. Slowly grew between the species. Lyra and Kai continued to be a strong team facing new challenges and dangers together. Even though they came from very different worlds, they shared a common goal to protect their home among the stars. And whenever Kai got too curious, Lyra would remind him with a playful growl that her ears were still off limits, yet deep down both of them knew that a true bond had formed, one built on respect, courage, and friendship, in a galaxy filled with endless worlds and strange beings. It was often the smallest and unlikeliest partnerships that made the biggest difference, and so the little alien Wolfgirl and the human engineer became symbols of a new future, where humans and aliens could stand side by side facing the unknown together. This was a true HFY tale of humanity. Not because of strength alone, but because of heart and the ability to connect across the stars.